It's going to be Team Spirit up against RRQ Hoshi in game number 2. RRQ Hoshi getting lead the first game. Your casters, Wolf and Naisu. Naisu, what do you feel about game number 2?
Oh man, I was about to do the
Yeah.
Game 2, man. I think this one. It's funny because like lineup wise, as we jump into the draft here, TS had a decent lineup, but I think like you mentioned this right when we went into game 1. You're like, you know, for Hiko and the Moskov, he's going to be that main source of damage, other than when the Feathered Airstrike was stolen by Sunset Lover's Valentina. And unfortunately for Hiko, his positioning was just not it in game 1. It was also not just, you know, completely his demise. It was also just Edok doing a fantastic job at the target acquisition with the Way of the Dragon. And so I think for this one, for Team Spirit, if they want to get to a game 3, it's going to have to be up to protecting Hiko, or maybe just building this lineup that isn't so heavily invested on the gold lane being that pop-off damage, you know, because again, they went with primarily very tanky heroes, and that's one of the trade-offs that you have to kind of go with, how you build that initial composition, right? For RRQ Hoshi, it took them a little bit longer. That was a 20-minute game 1. But even when RRQ Hoshi needed to like find plays in the early game, before Team Spirit took off with a little bit of a lead that they built themselves, I think they've like, that's the veterancy of RRQ Hoshi. You know, they know how to rotate around the map. They know how to find what they need to. They know how to play into weaknesses as soon as they find it into a game. And they did that in game 1.
Yeah, on one hand, it's bad positioning in the mid game until the late game for Team Spirit. But on the other, it's just either finding the right targets and finding the right timing as well. Because I can fairly remember Team Spirit are playing it so well. The way that they approach it is there are 2 tanky dudes in front, and then the AOG will come after. So it's more like a bait and switch kind of gameplay for Team Spirit. That's what they have won with. But for RRQ, they're the ones who are punishing Team Spirit when Team Spirit wanted to go first. And then, of course, Edok finds Hiko so many times in that game. Can say that he definitely was the MVP for game number 1. Now in game number 2, usually the priority is again the Lancelot, but it seems like the Baksha is the priority for Team Spirit. I think they can run it back actually. I don't think that there's enough reasons for them to not pick up the Baksha once again.
Yeah.
And it's also a hero that RQ wants to play.
Let's see if they don't take it. Wow, they're going to take the Lapu Lapu instead. So you think this might just be the trade? Like, do RQ prioritize picking up the Baksha now?
Yeah.
I mean, if not the Baksha, like, they're still, if teams wanted to lean towards utility, I mean, Fredrin's still there. Like I said, I'd like to see the Barretts pop up at some point with his change, you know, his buff technically.
You want to go?
Even the Zutian got like buffed a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. They will still go for the Farsa. I think eventually they will consider the Esmeralda, but in this scenario, the Farsa is a good pick for Rins for sure. But again, the Lapu-Lapu, the presence of Lapu-Lapu already threatens for this one. So I think you want to couple this up with a peel. Instead, they will go for the Cho. The Cho and the Farsa classic combo, and also an RQ combo. Now Team Spirit can just go back to the Baxia. I think this time they might consider the Kimi over the Valentina.
Yep.
We'll see if that will be the case.
Again, Edok getting his hands on the Cho, man. It's kind of, like I said, I feel like Hiko was a little shaken in the last game dealing with that. So I don't know if he ends up with a traditional marksman again, if he's going to go with Flicker even, or maybe the Purify this time. I think either, like, Flicker can still work, okay, but you know, that's one of the things is like once you have that Flicker down, once it's been expended and you are on a more vulnerable marksman, you know, it puts you in a really tough position. So this would actually, there's the Baksha, and they go the Harith. How do you feel about that?
They are asking RQ to pick up the Harith. It's of course the Baksha, the Esmeralda. I mean, sorry. Of course the Baksha deals with the Esmeralda so well. But it just looks real good for RQ. I wonder if that will be their choice. However, if they do pick that up, they will not have the proper assassins to go with it. So they're considering the Fanny right now. I think the Hayabusa is also good, but the Lancelot is the perfect answer for this one. does not care about the Lapu-Lapu, does not care about the Baksha. Actually, it has been a hero that was always good against the Baksha, and of course, a threat to the Harith. Overall, a perfect pick here for RRQ. But again, Team Spirit, I think that they should ban the Esmeralda.
Yeah, ban the Esmeralda. I think at least you just take that option out of there. I mean, there isn't really not off the top of my head, a better hero to deal with all these shields that they could pick up. But I think even so, if it ends up being just a regular matchup in the gold lane, like the Harith is there, and then maybe we potentially see, the Toy pick up the Granger or something, just something more kind of a traditional matchup in the gold lane that can work. Again, you rely on RRQ Hoshi, even just with those 3 picks they have to start in that first phase. Those are all the tools they need. And I think even with the Lancelot, obviously you're going to be able to go ahead and contest objectives, even if you don't have a favorable advantage or space to work with. But the Farsa kind of does that for you, So something that they can definitely consider here. Plus, they're just going to be able to move them around the map pretty quickly. So that's why that Granger's banned out, just for the potential of the one I was saying with that matchup we've seen time and time again, the Harith versus the Granger.
Yeah. For RQ, there are a lot of choices for the gold lane, because you can even go back to the mode where you go for the fighter gold lane. We've seen a team like Aurora, for example, go for the carry, which is in this game, I would say it's okay for RQ. But I do like the odds of the Esmeralda if they do get their hands on it. An XP lane of choice, however, that we should be looking for RQ is the Alice. Although the Uranus would be good, Esmeralda will be also good for them. I think that they also need some real nice tank in the front lines for RQ, because you already have the Cho, which is can be played as a tank, but is much better if it is actually a second engage type of guy. You survive long enough for you to engage as a second unit for RQ. No Esmeralda ban, so Uranus, Alice, and Esmeralda is available for RQ. I wouldn't be surprised if this is Uranus or Alice as their red 4 pick.
Uranus, Alice. If it is the Esmeralda, we're thinking that's gold lane though, right?
Like that could be gold lane.
Gold lane Esme, yeah. I've seen that pop up more than XP. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, the Gatakacha's open too. Like, I don't know if they want to pick that up. Esmeralda makes sense though. Yeah, Esmeralda's locked in. It's just the answer. Like, it's the answer for the shields.
For sure. Okay, so you're looking for a mid lane. Gatakacha is such a given for Team Spirit. Maybe the next best option is the Badang, but the Gatakacha, I don't think that there should be some changes. And we also mentioned the Kimi. I guess the Valentina can work against this Farsa, but at the same time, you want to go for more damage here. I think really feel like... but they need physical damage, actually, because they went Harith and Baksha. So that is actually not a good combo if you look at it that way. It might be... like I said, the Kimi... The problem here is that they pick up Baksha with the Harith, which is usually not the combo. It's almost a Harry Potter lineup for Team Spirit.
Yeah, a little magical lineup that they pretty much have, aside from the Lapu-Lapu, of course. So that's going to be a big component to their physical damage. For RRQ Hoshi, this last pick here, that'll go ahead and tell us what they put in the XP lane, unless for some reason this is an XP Esmeralda. So they have actually a couple options that they can go with. I think you just put it in the XP lane, the gold lane if you want to. And then for XP, what is left
Uranus.
open? Yeah, Uranus probably. Okay, so then
they want to go for the Claude. They want to go greedy.
They are going to go. All right, Toy's going to go with Claude. You got the XP Dyron for the Esmeralda.
Yeah. Man, this I think that any last pick for RQ would have worked, because I'm already seeing a lot of issues for Team Spirit, and it's not because of what RRQ Hoshi picked up, but it's mainly because of what they picked up themselves. This full magic lineup is gonna struggle. So all you need to do for RRQ Hoshi is pick up Radiant Armor and Athena Shield, or Radiant Armor and Oracle. You're gonna be fine.
Yeah. As soon as those some of the magic resist items gets built up here, you're going to lose a lot of your damage profile. So, you know, in a sense, like Team Spirit, I think they don't want to get to a point where they're in a 20-minute game again against RRQ HOSHI here. Also, just because of the fact that, yeah, like even in Esmeralda, like it's with all those shields and just the way that Esmeralda works, might be a bit unkillable unless they're able to go ahead and lock it down and deal with Esmeralda. But then, you know, you've got a lot of tools here for RRQ HOSHI's lineup that they can utilize from the early game all the way till late game. And so,
Yeah.
you know, similar to how Team Spirit had in game one, it's like you've got a certain time this lineup is going to work for you, and you're going to be able to go ahead and execute the plan with this lineup. And hopefully they're able to do that, especially early to mid game. They had decent control over it in the last game, especially early game. They were able to go ahead but I think also some of that was just like some of those little minor mistakes that we saw from RRQ HOSHI. For example, like where Dyron jumped in on the Lapu Lapu a couple times, a little miscalculated on Rinz's Farsa, but they made those adjustments really quickly as the game adjusted.
Yeah. To be fair, we have not seen RRQ HOSHI play in an international event for a long time.
For a while, yeah.
And even just actually playing in a competitive setting, it has been a long time. So probably some jitter there for Darren. But the good thing for a team as experienced as RRQ is it only takes a snap of a finger and then they're back. As we've seen earlier on, like when they turned it on, Edok was just on point. They continuously won the team fights against Team Spirit. Gonna be waiting for the game to start once again, but I'm really not feeling it for Team Spirit. If they don't win the early game, you have so many problems heading into the late game.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, man. While we wait to jump in game here in Team Spirit, hopefully they had enough time to go ahead and come up with a plan anyway to take out or take care of Hiko, but also just positioning in general. Because I feel like as a whole, like I don't want to just keep saying that it was, you know, Hiko that the reason why they lost game one. It was more so like as a team, they seem to play, which is kind of funny because we were talking about leading in this matchup how much synergy Team Spirit's built over time, but I feel like maybe it was just like the way that RRQ HOSHI was playing or the way that they were forcing some of the fights. Again, I think a big part of that is Edok's Cho, which they're still going to have to deal with. And, you know, you'll see that from a lot of Cho specialist players out there, right? Like they're really good at finding those little windows of opportunity to get those kicks off. But not just that, but also just kind of like faking people out. Like if you notice some of the best Cho players you see out there globally, it's like that's what they're capable of doing. They're able to provide vision, but then at the same time, they can actually, just with the G Kundo like combo, they're able to go ahead and like fake some people out or set things up, even without the kick, you know. And I feel like that's a constant pressure that Team Spirit's always going to have to deal with. And hopefully they've had some time as we wait to jump into the game. I think they're sorting some things out here for our players. But again, the reset has to happen pretty quickly for them to potentially get through a game 3.
Yeah. It's the Cho players psyching up their opponents, right? So, yeah. That happens a lot. I think that you can feel it from teams that have... I mean, it is effective against players who aren't that experienced, but I wouldn't say Hiko is a team that's not that experienced. He is a young player though, and between him and Edok, for sure Edok played way more games compared. We'll see. If you had like straightforward deaths, you would probably be afraid of the Cho, which was literally what happened with Hiko.
Yeah, I mean we've all been there. I feel like, you know, and you know, once you get delayed on one of the traditional marksmen anyway, whether that's a Claude or a Harith here, you're focused on trying to catch back up and be that use to your team. So definitely able to go ahead and restart here. We're now in game 2 for this RRQ HOSHI, like I said, with this lineup. It will be interesting too because pressure-wise, like their physical damage is good. Magic damage-wise too, early game. So even though we're saying Team Spirit needs to have a better early game to get things started off, if they kind of bite off too much, RRQ HOSHI's damage profile is actually pretty good in the early game. Oof. Hiko and Toy. 1v1. I'm not sure if this is going to pan out here for Hiko. Oh! First blood. Going to the hands of Toy. That is not a good start again for Hiko here in game 2. Okay. So as we get through this game, early game already, being able to go ahead and start that is, man, Wolf, that first blood already for Toy.
That was so bad. That's really, really bad because we were already talking about how Team Spirit needs the early game to get going in for them, especially this Harith. And it's if the Purify would have helped him in that situation, right? This probably wasn't, oh my god, even Sawo's recall.
I'm telling you, man, Idok's Cho.
So weird. Oh, man.
It's scary to deal with.
This is looking bad for Team Spirit, dude. I think it's the Farsight that show that has the priority in the mid lane, but at the same time, Kimi and Gacha, they're not pushovers either. This is a very strong combo, but we'll see how they will deal with the turtle.
Dealing with this turtle, it's quite low. Susagen will be able to secure it. Feathered Airstrike drop down. There's the kick from Idok. He does fall though, but it's going to be a trade. The roam for roam. Battle spells used up as well. Got the Revitalize out, and I think they're going to be happy with that. Again, objective secured for RRQ HOSHI.
That's already like 1,000 gold lead from, and so mainly because they just stopped some of the teleports from Sawo, and the fact that they also took out Hiko, which probably meant that he missed some of the minions and then a cart, which we know for sure that has more value nowadays. 40% extra gold from the cart, which, you know, if you add all of that together, that will mean that there's 1,000 gold lead for RRQ HOSHI.
He's getting gapped here too, man. He's only level 3.
That's right. That kind of this 1,000 gold lead from RRQ HOSHI has more value to it because it's from the gold laner.
I think Idok's going to get caught out here. He does use the kick.
Oh, okay.
Jikun does. Oh, he's actually able to get away. Even despite being caught in that side of the jungle and then 3 members of Team Spirit around, that is just... Hey, Idok is tough on the jungle. I'll give you that. Oh, he knows the limits, man.
First 2 picks, Cho, for RRQ HOSHI. Idok is showing us how it's done, using the Way of the Dragon defensively so that Team Spirit will not be able to get any bonus skill. And they actually spent so much time, and I'm sure that Susagen is having a great time because of that. The space that Idok was able to make for his team right now is so important, especially because RRQ HOSHI, they're just getting good as time goes by. The fact that they're leading at 4 minutes in with this kind of composition against Team Spirit's weak mid-game and late-game composition, this is already looking good for the Indonesian team.
Wolf, the level gaps between the jungle and the gold lane are quite intense. You know, again, Hiko just level 5, Toy's nearly level 7. He was maintaining that 2-level lead for a while, and again, the junglers, 3-level gap between the junglers right now. The fight for the second turtle breaking out. Sao's going to go for the charge, the unbreakable here on Rins. Turtle's going to be secured by Susagen again. Toy with that barrage, they keep him at bay. Dyrant trying to run, gets to the turret. He's going to be fine. No one dropping down just yet. Toy doesn't have that blazing to it, but he's got the shots coming through. One shot going to be in trouble as he falls to Toy. Now Kid Bomba on the run. And they're still trying to get away from this. I'm not sure if they're going to find more. Starting up this purple buff as well. They do take that.
Oh, even Idok getting in front of the back shot. There will be a little bit of a chase here, but Rince is going to be able to get out. Idok as well through the wall. And it's looking really, really easy for RRQ HOSHI to get out of these team fights because of how well their advantage is.
Yep.
They're surviving for long enough, and also it's easier for them to disengage.
Yeah, they can, and you know, at this point, this is where turrets start to fall. They're able to go ahead and get things on the map too, and if they can continue on, that's troubled territory to be in, man. RRQ HOSHI just finding the wins where they can here. Okay, everybody's falling down here. Again, a kick. One shot going to be in trouble as he's focused down in the jungle. Sutsujin gets a kill. A big pickup, a big fight again for RRQ HOSHI as they continue to put pressure here for Team Spirit. There we go. Just a second, Wolf will join me again. Man, RRQ HOSHI not letting up. Now in the mid lane, Kid Bomba trying to hold down that mid lane. Purple buff going to be worked on here as it's taken. And now, once again, Sawo falling. Now, even popping the Revitalize, attraction pulse thrown out, but the Thorn Rose going to keep Sutsujin alive, and a kick defensively to disengage. Wolf, welcome back.
Yeah, I don't know why Kid Bomba has an orange buff, but I think he just missed it. And there was what, maybe what, 4 or 5 seconds where he's just walking in front of RRQ HOSHI, trying to land anything. But the moment that he has his skills back on cooldown, Edok just kicked him out of there. And then another disengage from RRQ HOSHI. If this game goes on and on like that, eventually this Claude will be unmanageable for Team Spirit as well as this Lancelot. So I understand why Team Spirit are so anxious to get a play whatsoever, but RRQ HOSHI are just evading and only fighting in their own terms. I think this is a very smart take from RRQ HOSHI.
Yeah, very smart takes here. RRQ HOSHI not letting up at all. That's the main thing. Playing with this advantage that they have here is working out so well for them. And I'm thinking here, man, you know, 5,000 behind what Team Spirit can do to get back themselves into this game. But unfortunately, with plays like this, again, the way of the Dragon setting things up, look how fast Kid Bomba gets taken low here. Just off of a kick. There's the Feathered Airstrike, zoning them out a little bit further. The Lord is up. RRQ HOSHI fighting for that space to work with, and Sao trying to provide the vision to be able to contest against this. Still going to force it. They might still have to be careful how they approach the Lord even with this. But Sao once again jumping in. Hiko dropping down the Zaman Force, but he's also just brought so low so quick as Sutsujin picks up that kill, and now going for Sao, using that retribution to slow him down as Sao falls. Kid Bomba could possibly be next as Toy just unleashing, and there's Eno again with the Flicker G-Kundo combo with the kick to follow. They'll find 4. RRQ HOSHI taking it all.
Team Spirit wanted to fight in RRQ's terms once again, and they have found the same ending to that clash. Went in for the initiation onto RRQ HOSHI, only to find Sutsujin as well as Rins waiting on the wings. Of course, dealing enough damage. Edok is the icing on the cake. That beautiful flicker, Jeet Kundo, that stomp to actually knock up 2 members of Team Spirit, and then Rins. Rins was not failing at all. On point with the follow Feathered Airstrike, and then that pickup afterwards, where there was an attempt for Team Spirit to get out, but Rins was just a sniper. Laser focused, laser on point against Team Spirit, and now that's a 7,000 gold lead that Team Spirit is not equipped to deal with. It will take an uphill climb for Team Spirit to get back to this game.
Yeah, again, it's just a little bit of a tough situation to make work here, I feel like, in Team Spirit's situation, just because of the way things have gone. And there it is again, the kicks from Edok, able to lock down Sao. Sao gone in an instant, even as tanky as this is. Sunset Lover to follow, and RRQ HOSHI will continue to take what they want, even under the base turret. Shield's gonna pop here. Sutsujin checked by Hiko. He's gonna have to back off, but they still have the Lord marching up top. They wanted that shield, they got it. Tier 2 in the mid, nearly down here once this wave's push in. So down 2 members for another 10 seconds. Team Spirit should still be able to defend this. The Lord charges on into the top turret. Kid Bomba taking a bit of damage, sitting at half health. He'll regen back up, but still all holy shields have been taken out. A Feathered Airstrike drop down. Kid Bomba jumping in with the Bravest Fighter, trying to zone out what he can, and by the time that he can, he flickers. He's still going to be up though. So Team Spirit holding on to the base turrets.
First pick, Lapu-Lapu, coupled up with the third pick, Harith, and the disrespect to not ban the Esmeralda. You can see how Kid Bomba is struggling. He, after a quick combo against RRQ HOSHI, already is half HP just because of the passive abilities of this Esmeralda.
Oof, again, fighting for the base turret. Susujin able to take down the top one now. Dyron getting caught. He might go down to the shot from Hiko, able to pick him up, and now forcing the fight again. A blazing duet from Toy, able to set it all up here in the base, and a kick from Edok again. They're looking for the wipeout. It's always only Sawo left alive, and RRQ Hoshi knows it. With a wave pushing up top, it's only Sawo. As a Guardian as he is, he won't be able to 1v4. The waves are going to be pushing on in. A feathered airstrike drop down, and again, Sawo falls. That's a wipeout, and RRQ Hoshi will take the series in a sweep.
But did say that this was a very dicey draft for side of Team Spirit, and RRQ Hoshi knew that. And on top of that all, they outplayed Team Spirit to the ground. At first blood onto that Harith set the tone for what could happen in this game. Edok was just back in his old ways, just being that show that RRQ Hoshi has depended on for a very long time. They have outplayed and outwitted Team Spirit all throughout this game, and that's why they won this series. Unfortunately for Team Spirit, they went in for the first pick Lapu-Lapu, the third pick Harith, did not ban the Esmeralda, suffered because of that play. In that last clash, you saw Naisu. RRQ Hoshi just used their gold lead as a battering ram against the composition of Team Spirit. We already know that they are struggling when it comes to their composition, and even after the Esmeralda died,